All right, guys, I'm sorry. This is a really quick video, and I just want to share it with you because I had a student come up to me and ask me a question similar to this, and I want to share it with you just in case you're all having the same issue. So the question is similar to this, where they're giving you a square root, so like square root of 3 minus 2x, and this is equal to x. So we already learned that we're going to square both sides, right? So that's how we get rid of the root. And now we have 3 minus 2x is equal to x squared. Okay, wonderful. Next step is we're going to subtract the 3 and add the 2x to move it over here. So I'm going to add the 2x, subtract the 3. And now I have 0 on this side. All this becomes 0 is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 3. So technically, when I factor this, I'm going to factor this out with, since 3 and 1 are the only two factors, I'm going to have an x plus 3 and an x minus 1, right? So FOIL, inner outer, will give me the positive 2x. The extremes, 3 times negative 1, will give me negative 3. Two solutions for x are x is negative 3 or x is positive 1. But which is it? Okay, now this is where we had the conversation. You have to go back to your original, which is a 3 minus 2x equal to x. And when you're substituting in these numbers, you're going to be using the original numbers that you obtain as a solution. So in this case, this is square root, for example, of 3 minus 2 times negative 3, and that should be equal to negative 3. Obviously, this is going to become square root of 9. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6 plus 3 is 9. So square root of 3 is equal to negative 3. That is not true. Now, the argument comes in here for the student that I had the conversation with. This is, we have already discussed that the square root, for example, square root of 9 could be plus or minus 3. That is true. I'm not arguing that. But that's not even what this question is asking. This question is asking you to substitute a negative 3 specifically. And when you substitute a negative 3, you get plus or minus 3, but the problem is there's a counter argument that 3 is not equal to negative 3. Okay, yes, I know that negative 3, if it were negative 3, is equal to negative 3, but that's not the question. The question is not asking you the square root of negative 3. It's asking you actually what happens when you substitute in negative 3. Unlike the 1, when I do square root of 1, square root of 3 minus 2 times 1 is equal to 1. If you notice, in this case, you get the square root of 3 minus 1, which is square root of 1, is equal to 1, because the square root of 1 is 1, and that is equal to 1. Remember, when it comes to square roots, if I have the square root of, say, negative 25, the result of this answer is 5i. Remember that. Actually, plus or minus 5i. So I guess what the argument was because when you take a square root, say square root of 25, for example, we've argued or we stated that that could be plus or minus 5. Yes, that is true, but that is not what this question is about. This question is asking you, when you substitute in the negative 3, look at what happens if I substitute in positive 3. So let's go with the positive 3, which is where the argument ensues. Notice that this gives you 3 minus 6. It actually results in negative 3, square root of negative 3. Not the same result. So we are specifically looking at negative 3 as a substituted value. And when you substitute this in, you're going to obtain, in this case, a positive value. In this case, we obtain a positive value because this becomes positive 6 and 3, which is 9. Square root of 9 is positive plus or minus 3. Yes, I'll give you that. But the argument ensues in the counterexample where if we just take the positive root, which is 3, that is definitely not equal to negative 3. Because that is one obvious possibility, that is not an answer. It's not a solution. Your only solution for this question would be 1. Are we clear? All right. I hope that didn't worsen the situation. I hope it helped you understand it a little better.